biggest cheating scandal in Formula One history. What scandal could it be? And how can you cheat though in Formula One? For real. How though? Like popping opponent's tires? Like how do you cheat really? Like illegal, like I don't know, bro. Like how do you cheat? You know what? Let me stop asking those questions. We will know right here though. Yep, right here.
On May 2nd, 2014, a man got out of his car, walked onto the M20 highway in Kent, and right into the path of an oncoming lorry, seemingly taking his own life.
Bro.
Man was pronounced dead at the scene.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And yet, the medical examiner would leave his cause of death as an open verdict.
Oh, nah, this is strange though.
And he suspected a conspiracy.
No, but...
And for good reason. But why am I talking about him? Well, this man was Nigel Stepney. He had been Ferrari's chief engineer, having been at the team for 14 years. And he was also the man behind the biggest scandal in Formula One history.
Because he jumped in front of a highway? Basically? I don't even know, bruh. Hold on. Right.
This story is one that F1 doesn't even want to acknowledge at times. Severe punishments, nasty politics, fractures and rising tensions across the sport, search warrants, arrests, and even a war on track between Alonso and Hamilton. This scandalous affair is one that was almost too tragic to believe. And this wasn't just a chapter in Formula One. It started long before the actual scandal saw the light of day. So if we want to understand why things happened the way they did, we must go back to the old days, to the McLaren era, and the man who ran it, Ron Dennis. The most successful decade of McLaren's history began with the merger of Project 4 Racing and Ron Dennis. In the 1980s, the team had won 7 championships under the leadership of Senna.
Yo, one thing I want to say though, how do you call it? Wait, hold on, bro. I gotta mute myself, bro, because I hear myself twice. I don't like that. One thing I want to say, right? Yo, them F1 cars are kind of, you know, they're nice, bro. I like it. And that's like, whew, I don't know the time with that though, but I feel like this is from what, 90s maybe? Wait, I said 90s? Nah, like 80s maybe? Looking at the actually it could be 90s. But I don't know, bro. But still, they look good and I like that.
In the 1980s, the team
Oh, he said it. 1980s, right? What?
Began with the merger of Project 4 Racing and Ron Dennis. In the 1980s, the team won 7 championships under the leadership of Senna, Prost, and Lauda. And in the early 1990s, with the legendary Ayrton Senna at the wheel, McLaren looked ready to prolong their domination in Formula One. However, Ron Dennis's era of glory hit a roadblock. The McLaren found themselves in a prolonged struggle.
Hey now.
Dennis's era of glory hit...
This better be water, bro. Because you're on the job. It better be water, bro. Because, I don't know, bro. That cup looks suspicious, bro. You just better be water, bro. Because you're on the job.
It's a roadblock. The McLaren found themselves in a prolonged struggle for nearly a decade. One of those stumbling blocks was the fact that Williams rose to the top of the industry due to Adrian Newey's groundbreaking designs and revolutionary active suspension. And as if things weren't already tough enough, Honda suddenly disappeared, leaving McLaren to find a replacement.
What happened? Bro, they just vanished?
Engine. After a failed agreement with Renault and a disastrous 1994 alliance with Peugeot, McLaren's problems were only getting worse. The rescue came in 1995 when the company formed an alliance with the German automaker Mercedes. David Coulthard's victory in Australia in 1997 marked the beginning of a turnaround for McLaren, who had a difficult 1996 season. Things would take a turn for the better as Adrian Newey came on board in 1998 and 1999.
Okay, I'm not gonna hold you. There's a lot of dates in that reaction, bro. Like, a lot. And, bro, it's a bit confusing, though. But it's nice. I like it still.
With the Papaya outfit winning 2 consecutive Constructors' Championships. But at this point, McLaren had no idea that this would be the last time they would win a Constructors' title. In the years that followed, Ferrari, Renault, and of course Fernando Alonso took center stage, leaving McLaren to struggle for over a decade to regain their former grandeur. In 2006, McLaren would suffer a major setback when Adrian Newey left for Red Bull. With the pressures mounting and teams racing ahead of them,
That means he got a better pay, bro. That's what it means. He saw the contract over there. He went like, yeah, nah. See, look, y'all cool people, but I got a skedaddle. I'm getting paid better over there. Can we blame, bro?
Finding a way to get McLaren back on top was an immense priority for Ron Dennis. The team needed a competitive car, and most importantly of all, they needed a special driver lineup. They certainly got.
Wait, what? An ad? Bro.
Enter Fernando Alonso, two-time world champion and Michael Schumacher's personal nightmare, and Lewis Hamilton, one of the best prospects the sport has seen in a long time. Both of them were the horses to bet on. This race would have outside interference. Enter Nigel Stepney, Mike Coughlin, Trudy Coughlin, and an unsuspecting photocopying shop employee. Nigel Stepney, chief mechanic at Ferrari during the...
Yo, this feels like a organized crime, really.
Team's successful heyday with Michael Schumacher was at the core of the Spygate controversy. Stepney was not...
Really, do you not think that there's a lot of organized crime in F1 motorsport? You know, that's a good question, though, because, you know, it's been there since forever, okay? And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's, like, you know, a slight criminal organization, like, here and there. Like in different teams, I wouldn't be surprised so much though, because it's like it's been there since forever, bro. And it's like they make a lot of money, so my bad. They make a lot of money, so I don't know. Maybe that's realistic to think about. And I'm sure there's past events, which is it's organized crime, but it's everywhere. At the end of the day, it's everywhere. But Nah, in F1 though, y'all think it's like common? I don't know.
Just desiring a promotion, but also felt he was rightfully entitled to one when the strong alliance consisting of Schumacher, team principal Jean Todt, technical director Russ Brawn, and chief designer Rory Byrne.
So basically, bro wanted in, and they said, "Nah, bro, can't have that." Basically, right? That's what I'm getting at. Could be wrong.
Came to an end in 2006.
At the end of this year, I've decided together with the team that I'm going to retire from racing.
His desire was motivated by a combination of factors, including his belief in his role in turning Ferrari into an F1 powerhouse and the disappointment he felt from unmet promises.
I am looking at spending a year away from Ferrari. I'm not currently happy with the situation within the team. I really want to move forward with my career.
Okay, so this is okay, let me translate, okay? He wanted the job, but other people got in before him. And he got mad and he quit the team.
And that's something that's not happening right now. Ideally, I'd like to move into a new environment here at Ferrari. But if an
Yeah, basically. He didn't get what he wanted.
I would definitely consider it.
In response to his comments, Ferrari announced a new role for Stepney as head of team performance development. Their statement read, after many years spent working on the Formula One circuit, the last 13 of those as part of the Ferrari race team, Nigel Stepney, with approval of the company, has chosen to take on a different role that will see him no longer have to attend the races. Now that's the corporate way of saying get the out. With his names dashed.
No, let me track back that.
13 of those
Wait, hold on.
comments. Ferrari announced a new role for Stepney as head of team performance development. Their statement read, after many years spent working on the Formula One circuit.
Yeah, when they start with that, after many years spent, you know the rest is bad, bro. You just know you're done for. Like, you just know. After many years, like, it's a subtle introduction to say that you're quitting, though. Imagine, right? I'm a baker, okay? I make bread. I don't know, bro. After many years of baking, like, come on, bro. We know you're quitting that. Like, it's easy to think. It's easy, bro. After many years is the perfect beginning statement of you quitting something.
The last 13 of those as part of the Ferrari race team. Nigel Stepney, with approval of the company, has chosen to take on a different role that will see him no longer have to attend the races. Now that's the corporate way of saying
got fired,
get
basically.
the f- out. With his dreams dashed, Stepney would turn into Ferrari's worst nightmare. He secretly broke into the Ferrari factory and stole 780 pages of sensitive documents.
Okay, so he got fired. He crashed out, and he leaked the whole schematics. Okay, and the codes and the whatnot. Okay, that's basically what happened. You know, good translation to that. That is basically what happened. Yeah.
Which meant he effectively had the schematic drawings, technical reports, pictures, and financial information for the 2007 Ferrari. He then gave these documents to a trusted associate of his, Mike
Trusted? But you don't leak classified information.
Coughlin, who was then also McLaren's lead designer.
Oh, ooh, I smell the leak, bro. Not a gas leak. The leak of information, bro.
Their plan, however, was undergone when Mike Coughlin's wife, Trudy, walked into a copier shop, a stack of 780 pages in hand. She instructed the clerk to scan the documents onto 2 CDs. Now, ordinarily...
Okay, imagine you're the clerk, right? You go there, okay. You know, good old day. Okay. It's a, I don't know. What day is it? It's a Wednesday, right? It's a Wednesday. You got a random ass lady coming by to you, right? Talking about some... Excuse me, I would like to print out, or scan, I should say, or convert to CD, to, data, 700 worth of pages onto, I don't know, few discs. Look. And listen, I'm the clerk, right? So I have to, not fully read what is getting printed, but, I can't get someone to print anything that they want, right? So if I see someone with 700 pages and it says Ferrari and it says classified, I ain't doing that, bro. You can do it yourself. I am not trying to be part of that, because 700 pages of classified information? No, sir.
This would be no big deal. But one of the most recognizable emblems in the world, the prancing black horse of Ferrari.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, although you don't know the company like that, you just know that company exists. Does it make sense though? You just know. So I don't know, bruh. I'm the clerk, bro, and I'm seeing Ferrari first page, and I got $6.99 after that, and the first few pages are talking about some classified information. No, I ain't doing that, bro. I'm sorry. No.
Was printed on every page.
Cause I will be part of, the whole leaking process of the information. I ain't trying to do that though.
And for a copy shop clerk, that usually wouldn't mean anything. But this clerk, he was...
Are you sure, bro? That's 700 pages, bro. I mean, if you think about it, books has a lot more sometimes, depending on the, edition, yeah. So actually, nah. I think it's fine.
He was a diehard Ferrari fan.
There's no way. Okay. We didn't know all that, so now we know better. Girl, what was her name?
A stack of sand, however, was undergone when Mike Coughlin's wife, Trudy, walked into a copier.
So, Trudy went kind of stupid though. To be fair, she should have done it herself. First of all, especially if your husband is working at Ferrari, you would expect that you have the money to buy a printer. That's right. And no, not even that. You work there too. You got the money to buy a printer. Just do it yourself. I mean, listen, it's the 80s, the 90s. Maybe it wasn't that affordable back then. Maybe not. Okay, or especially at that grade of printing, or that speed of scanning, I should say. Scanning/printing to then convert it to CDs. She should have done it herself, first of all. Second of all, maybe somewhere else though.
But this clerk, he was different. He was a diehard Ferrari fan. Sensing that something was amiss, he asked the woman for her name, and Trudy told him. When Trudy left, this clerk decided to...
She really gave the real name. She gave the real name.
Google who she was. The man found out she was Michael Coughlin's wife, the lead designer for McLaren's Formula One team. After that, he used Google to track out Stefano Domenicali, the Formula One sporting director at Ferrari. Dear Mr. Domenicali, the clerk typed.
Oh, hell no. He basically snitched?
He then proceeded to reveal the peculiar story of the...
There was a woman that entered my shop today. She happened to have some suspicious material, which I found really surprising. The contents had the Ferrari logo on them, and I suspected might be some serious information
woman who had what seemed
that
to be highly
she has
classified
under
Ferrari
her
documents in her
possession.
Domenicali found the message from Surrey the following...
Ooh. That's crazy though, because that a Ferrari official actually saw your email though. That's something else. I gotta say, that's something else.
morning when going through his...
Well, I mean, listen, the
Domenicali found the message...
the email title says suspicious material, so yeah, maybe, you know, let's see.
From Surrey the following morning when going through
You
his
click on that, you know.
Coughlan then received the 2 copies of the 2 CDs. A few days later, she then destroyed the originals to get rid of the evidence on Mike's instructions. But little did she know, the time bomb had already begun its countdown. This event becomes even more intriguing when we find out that Nigel Stepney had been suspended by Ferrari a month ago on suspicion that he had tried to sabotage one of the Formula One cars at the factory.
Organized crime. He got hired. No. I don't know. I'm just saying words.
Stepney, of course, strongly denied the allegations. Those allegations, however, would stay in his shadow all his life.
Ooh, that's bad though.
Want the most out of life and realize
Battles broke out in the Italian and British courts, as well as inside the domain of F1 authority as the situation's severeness grew. It was decided that Mike Coughlan had behaved independently. The stolen data, though, had certainly reached other members of the McLaren team, but doubts continued and were eventually cleared up at a later hearing. The repercussions were harsh, a whopping $100 million in fines and disqualification from the Constructors' Championship were handed...
That's the early thousands though. Yeah.
$100 million in fines and disqualification from the Constructors' Championship were handed down for the unlawful acquisition of knowledge that was believed to provide an unfair competitive advantage. A 30-year history of mutual disdain had fueled Mosley's desire to deliver a blow so severe that it could potentially expel Dennis from the world of motorsport. It would
Expel? Food, that's serious, bro.
be the second hearing, however, that brought the drivers into sharp focus. And what followed was something straight out of a soap opera. Fernando Alonso had joined McLaren with the expectation of being their #1 driver and a title contender, a status he had been promised by team boss Ron Dennis. In the backdrop of this, Lewis Hamilton, in his debut season, had emerged as a sensation with a stellar start to his F1 career. His remarkable
Bro, hold on now.
had emerged as a sensation with a stellar start to his F1
Come on, bruh. The bottle on the face like that, bro. He didn't ask for that. And he clever enough to not do it to you.
career. His remarkable pace and competitiveness upset the delicate equilibrium within the team. While known to be promising, Hamilton's unexpected prowess had become a problem for the team. He wasn't supposed to usurp the dominance of Fernando Alonso. Understandably, the Spaniard's competitive spirits caught fire, and part of his siege mentality was fueled by the belief that a British driver in a British team led by a British boss would potentially relegate him to a secondary role. The Monaco Grand Prix added
I don't get
when
that.
Dennis mishandled the aftermath of a 1-2 finish, with Alonso leading throughout.
You know, when you're taking these decisions, you have to think for the team.
Hamilton felt he had been denied the opportunity to challenge Alonso. The Hungarian Grand Prix later that summer brought a darker turn to an already tense season for McLaren. During qualifying, Lewis reneged on an agreement to let Fernando pass and ruined his chances at pole position. Alonso really didn't like that. In a swift response, Alonso took matters into his own hands. And so, one of Formula One's most shocking moments was born.
But he's definitely putting the harder tyres on. There's Lewis Hamilton queuing up behind him. And have they raised the lollipop to let Alonso out? Yep, they want him out of there. No, Alonso's not getting on with it. Only a minute 40 to go.
Why, bro?
Is he blocking Hamilton here? Is that a bit of a tactic within the team there to give Hamilton a bit of a headache? I think it might well be. That's really, I don't know if he has, you
Ron Dennis was furious.
Bro, y'all know how, like, just that amount of seconds. Like that, okay? Wait, hold on.
Was born.
So, right here. Starting from here. Okay, there has been like few cuts here and there in the footage, so we don't truly know like how long that it lasted. But just the fact that he waited there, bro, could make them lose like that. Easy loss, bro. Easy. He got hired. No, I'm playing. Cause I do know that in F1, bro, timing is everything. Yo, if the timing is off, bro, I ain't talking about the engine, but if the timing is off, bro, whew, you can lose easy, just like that, bro.
Ron Dennis was furious, and Alonso was handed a 5-place
Bro,
grid
throw
penalty.
the
On
headphones.
race day, August 5th, things had boiled over so much that Fernando Alonso had confronted Ron Dennis in the confines of his motorhome. Rumour had it that Alonso threw down the gauntlet and threatened to unleash a trove of incriminating email exchanges involving McLaren's test driver Pedro de la Rosa and the controversial Coghlan to the FIA.
Ooh. He was like, bro, I'm gonna leak y'all stuff.
It's mostly later recounted how Dennis initially downplayed the threat, assuring him there was no substance to it.
Well, I go back to the question. If you say it's not credible, then you must believe
Thanks for the follow, bro.
that from the very top, that team was involved in deceit and cover-up.
Well, I'm trying to be kind.
Well, I'm asking you to be honest.
Well, yes.
Damn. Yo, no. I will be disappointed too, bro.
Well,
I'm trying to be kind.
Well, I'm asking you to be honest.
But I'm asking you to be honest.
Well, yes, but the thing is that you don't actually know. If somebody looks you in the eye that you've known for 40 years and says, Max, believe me, I didn't know, it's actually quite difficult to say, well, I think he's telling a lie.
But Dennis had underestimated this situation, and he had underestimated his star driver. Alonso's threats were not hollow, and the most expensive scandal in sporting history was on the brink of detonation. On September 5th, 2007, the FIA dropped a bombshell.
Whoa. What's that?
They dropped what?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys.
Alright, good.
Declaring that new evidence had emerged in the case. Instead of a routine appeal hearing, the entire case was set to be reopened on September 13th. As it turned out, the smoking gun was indeed a collection of driver emails sent to Bernie Eccleston, the commercial rights holder of F1. It seemed Alonso had followed through on his earlier threats, prompting the FIA to summon Alonso, De La Rosa, and Lewis Hamilton, and the trio was promised immunity, provided they were transparent. It would be on September 13th when the pivotal hearing took place. The team's stakeholders waited in cold anticipation for the decision. A decision
Why
that
did bro
would
close
come
the
as
door on us like that?
Stakeholders waited in cold anticipation for the decision. A
Man.
decision that would come as a horrifying shock to those from the Woking outfit. McLaren were disqualified from the 2007 Constructors' Championship and slapped with a record $100 million fine. Internally, McLaren was
Ooh, $100 million fine, bro. How do you even pay that? Like, honestly, how do you even pay that? Like, what can you do? I am confused about that. How are you even doing it? Like, how are the payments being made though? Like monthly, bi-weekly, every day, $1 every day. Like, how do you pay that back? Contracts maybe? Instead of you still do your usual contracts, but the money goes to them. How do you? Ooh, I would not love to be in that situation, bro.
in absolute shambles. And unbeknownst to the public, Alonso had already set plans in motion
Just because it's that much, like, what can you do though? Like,
to join Ferrari for the 2008
at this point, you might as well sell your assets though, like for real, cause
season, cutting short his tenure with McLaren. The wheels were in motion, and everything was going off the rails. As for the Drivers' Championship, thanks to lobbying from Eccleston and the Corporation of the Drivers, Hamilton and Alonso retained their points. keeping the title race alive. Meanwhile, things were heating up in the McLaren garage, as Hamilton was 12 points ahead of Alonso going into the Chinese Grand Prix. Hamilton started the weekend in pole, but things got heated when he claimed the crew was trying to lower his tyre pressure. Even though he started out in the lead, Hamilton eventually fell behind due to strategic mistakes and damaged tyres. Raikkonen took advantage of the situation to win the race, while Alonso finished in second position, igniting a thrilling three-way fight in Brazil. Hamilton was in first place with 107 points, 4 ahead of Alonso and 7 ahead of Raikkonen as the championship finale approached in Brazil. Fans' enthusiasm was contagious, and F1 ratings were skyrocketing. Even before the race began, McLaren faced an unusual situation. An FIA representative was specifically assigned to them to ensure equal treatment for both cars, a response to Alonso's previous claims of sabotage. The race commenced, with Hamilton dropping to third off the line. And then, everything went curiously wrong as he lost all gears on lap 8.
Nah, somebody done hacking the ECU, bro. Somebody done hacking the ECU. And they put that gearbox to neutral. Look. Gear and throttle. Brake. I don't know what the rest is. RPM range. Damn, 20K thousand. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, they kind of have to go like all the way up there. But yeah, no, somebody done remotely hack the ECU. So
Went curiously
wow.
wrong as he lost all gears
Look,
on lap
he was at gear 7, neutral, straight up.
8.
You see?
He's slowing.
Yeah, bro.
Despite a remarkable fight,
I mean, yeah, bro. It's mean hacking. It's like, he got hacked,
an
bro.
incredible season. Hamilton's championship dreams had crumbled. McLaren's strategic prowess couldn't salvage the situation. Kimi Raikkonen would go on to claim victory, with Fernando Alonso only being able to finish third. Both McLarens had finished on equal points, but Kimi had overtaken them with 1 point and clinched the driver's title for Ferrari. The series of blunders by McLaren, so uncharacteristic for the team, left many puzzled. The FIA dropped the investigation into McLaren's 2008 chassis in December.
The difficulty we have is that you're not going to find on the McLaren a part that was designed by Ferrari.
The best evidence, perhaps.
See, I didn't know that. I mean, I guess it makes sense, though. They're competitors, so. I mean, no, it doesn't, actually. I didn't know that. That's good info.
That McLaren had sabotaged Hamilton's car was when he was asked in 2012 about the events of Spygate, only for him to say,
I didn't know at the time, but I do now. It's not something I can talk about.
This certainly hinted towards a
Then why are you saying it, bro? But who?
strategic game orchestrated by Dennis and McLaren, manipulating the situation to ensure the FIA backed off the 2008 car investigation. And before the dust could settle on the 2007 season and McLaren's controversy, on December 11th, 2007, McLaren accused Renault of possessing sensitive information about their 2007 car.
Spygate
The hearing was
2?
scheduled for December, and on December 6th, 2007, Renault was found in breach of the sporting code. But unlike McLaren, they
If y'all didn't know, Renault is a European like car manufacturer.
escaped penalties for reasons that were not
I think they got bought by I don't want to say no mistakes, but no, I don't know by who they got bought, but
completely explained.
I think it's I don't know, bro. I don't know actually.
And realize what you're looking for is already in you. This is for you, the Canadian Armed Forces.
What's that?
Separately, an Italian court would deal with the fallout for Spygate court participation Nigel Stepney. The court sentenced Stepney to 1 year and 8 months in prison for sabotage, industrial espionage, sporting fraud, and attempted serious injury.
Whoa, that's
Stepney
a lot
was
of
also industrial espionage.
Wait, he was accused, not convicted of. Okay.
Sporting fraud,
Sabotage.
and attempted serious injury. Stepney was also labelled persona non grata by the FIA, who warned teams not to hire him without first conducting extensive background checks. Nigel Stepney would also play no further part in the world of Formula One, and he only continued to work in the world of motorsports for a few more years before the tragic event that unfolded on May 2nd, 2014, when he was hit by a lorry on the M20 highway. seemingly of his own will. What could have possibly driven him to do this? Did the fallout from Spygate
Well,
follow?
let me tell you, bro. He got accused of multiple things. That didn't help. He been accused of those type of things in the past. That didn't help. The leak of documents, that didn't help. And bro, nobody, well, not nobody, but like people are not easily willing to hire him despite his past. So
when he was hit
that drove him, I ain't trying to be funny, but that drove him to the road and
by a lorry on the M20 highway, seemingly of his own will. What could have possibly driven him to do this? Did the fallout from Spygate follow him and shadow his thoughts at every turn? Or were there more sinister reasons at play? Unfortunately, the only man that could have answered those questions was Nigel Stepney. For the teams, the ramifications ran deeper and lingered longer than anticipated. Mercedes, who were at the time McLaren's partner and engine supplier, bore the brunt of the financial penalty, a substantial $40 million. The relationship between the two corporations deteriorated further when Ron Dennis took the daring task of building the MP412C, McLaren's second road car, against Mercedes' desires. For McLaren, 2009 was a challenging year.
Oh, because they used their engine, parts.
Their least competitive Formula One car in years, and ended with a disappointing season. The championship title slipped through their fingers, ultimately secured by Brawn. After Honda pulled out, Russ Brawn took charge of the team and made sure it survived. Mercedes dreamed of having their own team, more visibility and total control as they considered doing it alone. This strategy change needed McLaren's consent due to the exclusive alliance. Needless to say, they got it. Thus began Mercedes' reign of terror in 2014. The
What did they
landscape
do?
changed for McLaren post-2010. They were no longer the sole focus of Mercedes. Despite being title contenders in 2010 and 2012, McLaren's competitive standing dwindled by 2013. By 2014, McLaren found themselves trailing by 2 seconds, and from 2015, the loss of Mercedes engines marked the start of an absolute circus act that was McLaren's partnership with Honda. This stormy road
Whoa, full on cycle. On the pullback,
was McLaren's partnership with Honda.
and then wait, so Mercedes and McLaren were together, right? McLaren then ended up dropping a car that they were not supposed to drop because they were using parts or at least the engine designed by Mercedes, right? And then they were like, yo, come on now, we need some help though. Yo, Honda, y'all wanna collab? That's low-key what happened.
Stormy road ended in 2017 when Ron Dennis,
And that's recent though, 2017.
McLaren's greatness, was ousted following a falling out with his longtime partner and former friend Mansour Ojay. The company's comeback began under new leadership, and since 2021, they've been a Mercedes engine client again. Despite winning a race in 2021 and breaking a 9-year dry spell, McLaren is still far from the competitive, dominating force it once was. And that, all of that, because of a series of events set in motion by one man who is no longer here to reveal why he kickstarted the biggest scandal in F1 history. That being said, if you're looking for a story that ended on a better note, you should check out my first video on my new channel, DFU Recaps.
Bo literally controlled the, not necessarily willingly, but he controlled the history of, F1. That's crazy.